Catman, your sir is going to use some Destiny gameplay today, and I'm basically just going to be talking about what my impressions are about the game and what I think about it just before the game releases. So this is going to be the beta build, so a lot of the stuff I say may not be in the actual game, or it might be tweaked, or in some way might be improved, most likely. So take it with a grain of salt, but obviously it is the actual game. So what I do say now will be most likely representative of what the actual game is like. So without further ado, excuse me, I will talk about it. So I really like the fact that it's an MMO FPS RPG. It's not like just one specific game, and that it's very extensive. It's a Bungie game, so you know they generally do take a lot of time to producing these games, to really thinking about the design of the game and improving upon that over and over again. So that's clear with this game, and some of the things that you'll be playing in the game, you'll be like, wow, this is fantastic, and it's a really fun experience. The entire game can be played with a friend, so that's also a really nice feature. But I feel like the multiplayer in this game is just not up to par to other competitive multiplayer games like Halo, like Call of Duty, like Battlefield. And I mean, all I can say about the campaign, the non-competitive multiplayer aspect, is really just good things for the most part. So I'm not really going to talk more about that. I'm going to talk more about the multiplayer. I did feel like the multiplayer was great. I did, you know, like it was pretty good. It was a great game for casual gamers. And I'm sure that more hardcore players like myself and some other people would love to play the game as well and have a lot of fun in it. But I do feel like there are some issues that I just didn't like, such as the balancing issues. So everyone, I do agree that some new aspects should be taken into Destiny in multiplayer to make it unique, to make it stand out. But I just don't feel like some of the balancing mechanics they did are right, or I don't feel like it's a very fair multiplayer experience game. So yeah, stuff like the supercharge is just so overpowered in a multiplayer scenario that I just don't see it being very competitive at all, because some people could just do it and annihilate the enemy team in one blow without really having any skill, and it could just be like, oh, 5 people up here, supercharged, they're all dead. And while the other team may be much more skillful and may have first shot, may have better movement and stuff like that, that stuff won't matter because of the supercharge they have. And I guess that it is a once in a while ability, because it does have to recharge for a while, and that once you use it, you're a little bit vulnerable after that because you have to switch back to your weapon and stuff like that. But even then, I do believe that when you use it, it is really overpowered, and which I guess, since every class has that, it's not that big of a deal, since no matter what you do, you're gonna have it when you're in multiplayer. But even then, I just don't feel like it's a very solid mechanic, especially for a Bungie competitive multiplayer game. It just does not seem right. And that's just one thing out of some of the other things in the game that I just don't feel like a competitive multiplayer, a shooter person would really enjoy, because this game is great as a sort of casual multiplayer experience. I mean, it is, you can go a little bit competitive in it, but even then, I think that there's a lot of stuff in the game that does not really cater to a competitive multiplayer audience. It feels like the game almost plays itself, in that if you get this one simple advantage, it's just guaranteed that you're gonna win the fight. Or maybe if you have this one specific gun that no one else has, that you're gonna have the advantage. And that gun might be like a specific gun that only you have, or it might be something that like a pre-order bonus or something like that. And honestly, that sort of stuff is just like in a multiplayer game that really does take away from the competitive aspect, the balance aspect. And honestly, it's a little bit of a shame, but I guess it's one of the things that they designed. And you can tell in some other parts of this multiplayer that I'm playing that the netcode is not that great. There are often times where I'll be shooting at the guy's head and the body for a long, like 5-10 seconds, and after those times, I won't get a hit marker, I won't get a kill within that time, but after that time expires, then all my shots will register at once, and that could be really frustrating, because a skillful player could be getting all the shots on target, and he could lose the firefight, which is just annoying in some opinions. Like, you'll see here, I clearly got the shot the guy down first, but I didn't get the kill until a couple seconds later. And I've seen, this is not just me that I've seen a lot of other people have some sort of problems like this. And because it is a beta build, I'm not too worried about the actual game being like this, because I do think that they have enough time to change it, to improve the netcode, to improve the balancing a little bit too. But in the end, I do have to say that if this is in the real game, then that's gonna be another problem. So generally, I'm gonna summarize what my beliefs are, and you know, my first impressions, I guess, of Destiny are. And this is no way a comprehensive review. This is a beta build. As I said, it's not everything I say here could be very well changed, but I do believe that, you know, this, what I say now will probably be similar to what I say when the game comes out. So I think the game's great for 60 bucks. Definitely, it's a fantastic game, and I think it's one of Bungie's, sorry, greatest games in a few years. But honestly, I don't feel like it's going to change the community that much. I don't feel like it's going to be a super big impact, because after a few months, after 2-3 months, guess what games come out? Call of Duty, Halo, Assassin's Creed, Disorder. We're back to the same. I'm not saying that as a negative thing, but I'm just saying that after a little bit, we're going to all be playing the games that we used to play before, which are like, you know, your Call of Duty, your Assassin's Creed, your Halos, your Battlefields, and I believe Star Wars Battlefront is also coming out. So I feel like this game is going to be a little bit like Titanfall, judging how that was received and how much people had hype for it. And, you know, I just feel like this game is going to be great for a little bit, but after a while, people are sort of going to be like, yeah, let's move on to some other stuff. So, yeah, if you're going to talk about, you know, the non-competitive multiplayer aspects of Destiny, I'm going to say that they're fantastic, and that it's a great campaign, cooperative, multiplayer, MMO, RPG, FPS game. But if you want to talk about the multiplayer of Destiny, I'm going to have to dock it a couple points, because it's a little bit unbalanced, because the netcode isn't that great, because there's also not that much diversity to the game. I mean, it is a beta build, so yeah, but, you know, there's not going to give the entire multiplayer experience from what I saw. But even then, I only saw 6 game modes, and all of those felt very similar to each other, for the most part. I remember there was some, like, you know, team-based game modes, and there was slight alterations here and there, but honestly, for the most part, they did feel very similar as far as the description told me. So I'm a little bit worried about that, and the fact that it's a little bit unbalanced and that it's not very competitive. I don't feel like this game is going to be a very competitive, you know, game. I don't think it's going to be that much representative in an MLG or competitive play at all. That much. I mean, there might be here and there, but I don't think it's going to last like Call of Duty does, like League of Legends has, or Dota or something like that. So anyway, that's my impressions of the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below, because I want to know what the general community thinks. I think, from what I've seen, I think people are very excited for the game, but I think that they've also sort of had this sort of similar issues to me that I've had with the game. So yeah, the game comes out this Tuesday. I will most likely be picking it up and playing it, and, you know, putting videos about it and stuff like that. So look forward to that. And I will leave you with the rest of this game, because I do go on a pretty boss kill streak. So I will catch you in my next video, and see you guys later. Bye.
Enemy captured Zone B. Zone A lost. Zone C neutralized. Zone B secure. You captured Zone A. Enemy captured Zone C. Zone A lost. Enemy captured Zone A. Zone B lost. You neutralized Zone C. Zone B secure. Zone C captured. Zone C lost. Heavy ammo inbound. Enemy captured Zone C. Heavy ammo available. Zone B lost.